Hello there. Well, I guess I should say my name is Ben, and that's Jared, by the way. You all probably know this. I don't know if you knew this. Why are you watching this?
I don't
Why did
know.
I just ask if you're watching? Please
They
keep
have nothing
watching
better
this.
to do. But
No,
welcome.
I can't say we just, but over the past week or so, we've been watching separately. We've been watching the original X-Men, like, was it 90s? Is that when it came out in the
Yes,
90s?
90s.
90s animated show. First season, we haven't gone past that yet.
Yes.
We want to get our thoughts on season 1, and we'll go from there. We took notes. I took notes. My notes are very much episode 1, 2, skip a few, episode 12. Because I forgot, and I was like, I would watch it while eating food or something, But I've talked enough. Jared, why don't you start us off? What do you think?
Oh, okay. So I've been wanting to watch this for a while. Ever since they announced that they were going to be continuing it with they're calling it X-Men 97, and it's going to be part of the MCU. It's going to be a continuation of this show and kind of bring this into the MCU in some form, which is really cool. Like, it's the first thing that they're doing with the X-Men characters. So I'm intrigued to see how this goes. But since they announced that, I was like, man, I really want to go back and watch that because I've heard how much they go like directly from the comics and basically just bring the comic storylines
Yes.
to life. And that's it. Like they just take the comics and they're like, okay, just do this, but animation. And I think it really works. I really liked this first season. Like, it flew by for me.
It's funny because for me it was like I'm a very casual comic book fan. I don't really read comic books, but I'm interested in the ethos of it. X-Men's one of those things that it's more on the comic book side of things, which I'm not. So I don't know much about X-Men. And what was hilarious is that almost everything I knew, aside from Dark Phoenix, has been covered in this first season.
Yeah.
So much has been covered in this first season. You got like the rivalry between Wolverine and Sabretooth. You have Days of Future Past. You have the whole assassination of Senator Kelly. You have freaking what it wasn't Cable, it was the other dude, but coming back.
Bishop.
Well,
Cable was there.
We did see Cable. Yeah, I thought we saw Cable.
Cable was there.
We freaking saw Deadpool and Domino and who else? Hold on.
Wait, what?
Ghost Rider was in there. Yeah. I took notes.
When did you see Deadpool?
They were just like flashes of like characters, like when somebody's remembering something or whatever. I think you saw in Gambit's memories, you saw Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And like the first episode, you saw Deadpool, I believe, in somebody's memory. I don't remember.
Okay, that's whack. I don't remember. I did not notice that. I
looked it up. But I was like, Deadpool, and that's the only appearance of him in there.
Oh.
Well, who knows? The new show, like the new season.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But did you notice on in the Days of Future Past episode, there was like someone holding a video game cartridge, and it was totally Punisher on the video game. It was like the game was called like Assassin or something, and when he said that, when the kid was like, "Oh, I just got Assassin" or whatever, then Bishop was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm here because someone's gonna get assassinated or something." When he was remembering everything. Yeah. So, and it was Punisher on the cover of the video game, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Punisher!"
I like how the whole first season Beast is just in prison.
I know. What was that about?
I mean, it was dope, but why did it have to be the whole first season? Like,
I know. And he's just always they're just reading or doing something, and he's very poetic, and I love Beast.
This show it's somehow amazing, childish, mature, all at the same time.
Yeah. Like,
it is so freakishly fast paced, but it covers so much.
And
it doesn't water it down. Like, you think I don't even want to call this a children's show either. It's probably like Saturday morning cartoon. It's not a kid's show.
No.
It's not.
It's very political.
Very.
It's kind of like
X-Men is political, but they didn't water it down.
It's kind of like
honestly,
the Clone Wars in a way.
I'm like, good. I'm glad they didn't water it down.
Yeah.
I wish, I mean, it moves very fast for my liking, but I mean, that's kind of how a Saturday morning cartoon would move. Is
See,
not
that's
going to be
kind
super
of,
slow
I
paced.
kind of like that because it would be harder for me to get into it as much if it was slower and stuff. Like,
I do and I don't because I'm excited to see stuff that I don't know, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't feel like I'm bogged down by watching like a 3 episode arc of something that I know everything about already, you know.
yeah, yeah. Um, who was your favorite characters? Like, did you have any like standouts that you really liked
Oh,
besides just having like a bias of like already liking people from the movies or something like that? I mean, in this show, you know,
I didn't think about that.
I told you to write it down.
That specifically down?
I said
I
three
took
questions.
notes.
I said three questions: favorite character, least favorite character, favorite episode.
I
I said
don't
to have
remember
those.
that. I don't remember that.
You don't remember your favorite episode?
I don't remember you asking those questions.
Oh, I put it in there somewhere. I don't
Well,
remember
don't
where.
expect me to answer those questions.
I'm expecting an answer. So, favorite character.
Okay, you're
Do you
gonna
want
have
me to
to
give
talk
mine?
here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it for a second.
Okay, so mine already, like I said, not having a bias in the movies, but Wolverine and Gambit, I think, were my two favorite characters. I really like the way they handled Wolverine in the show. I thought it was perfect. Like he had that just like I don't care attitude about anything and anyone, but then like you saw those moments where like if you were just nice to him or if you were just a good person or just like accepted that he was a person and could make his own decisions, he was also nice to you. Like and he looked out for people, you know, and like that one episode where they kept trying to like convince him not to hurt Sabretooth or something, and he said something to Professor X, like, why is it okay for you to go fight your nemesis? Talking about Magneto and stuff, but like you won't let me like take care of this guy
Yeah,
who I
like
honestly
this
have
guy
issues
literally
with.
killed tons of people.
Yes.
Like
And
yeah, like I have legitimate reasons to take him out that are the same thing that you're already like. Yeah,
yeah, but I really like that. And then Gambit, I don't know. I just like how French and funny he is. Like,
his
he's just
weird
so
like
quirky.
French Cajun like sort of accent. That's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like not
Hello,
French but
Shari.
is.
Yeah. Hello, Shari. Like, yeah.
This weird Southern French accent. Like
I love
it's
that.
not like
I
full
also
French.
love how freaking Southern Rogue is in the show.
Yes.
I
Okay.
love that
Okay.
so
That
much.
that leads into my favorite character, Rogue, because
Really? Okay.
again, just looking at the show, the Rogue I knew from like the movies was like this little girl who was afraid to do anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's not like that in the comics or nothing. And I liked how, yeah, she has this sort of ability that kind of sucks, but she lives with it seemingly just fine. And even
Yeah.
then, they have the whole episode where she tries to get rid of it, and then she resolves how maybe she shouldn't. You know, it's you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, like
Apocalypse was in this.
he just yeah, okay,
Out
yeah,
of
they just
nowhere.
Apocalypse just shows up. It's like,
Yeah, like
oh yeah, just Days of Future Past.
9
just
episodes in, he's
casually.
just like, yeah, right before Days of Future Past, like they handle Apocalypse, and I'm like, this seems like it should have been a way bigger arc, but okay.
And I did not know. It's so funny seeing the difference between like the comics. I'm calling the show the comics, even though it's probably
Because
not.
it really is.
Comparing
Apparently,
this-
this is the closest thing to them that you will ever get.
I'm just gonna refer to as the comics because that's the closest thing I've consumed towards the comics. Seeing the difference between the comics and like the different TV shows and stuff that I've seen. Like, you know, Mystique. I never knew that she was with Apocalypse.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
always
either.
assumed she was with Magneto.
Yeah,
But they didn't even meet in this episode.
yeah.
And like, I don't know.
Um,
It was I don't know. Like I liked Rogue much better. Obviously, she actually was like an interesting character in
Yeah.
many ways. Just moving on. Gambit agrees.
Yes, he does. I love how he's just always like, just kiss me. I don't even freaking care. I don't care. Just kiss me. I'm just like, dang, Gambit's down bad. Yeah, but I mean, you can't blame him, you know.
Going back to what you said about Wolverine, I just like how he just casually just destroys everything.
Yes, yeah, no, I love.
He's
that.
like, oh, Cyclops rips off Cyclops' car's roof.
Yeah,
it's like, who does that?
Wolverine does.
Wolverine does.
I also love how he is like the only one still alive in Days of Future Past, instead of like in the movie, everybody was still alive. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I know Cyclops and Jean died because they died in the movie prior in Last Stand, but in this, it's just like everybody's dead. Rogue's dead, Jubilee's dead, Cyclops is dead, Storm's dead. Everybody's friggin' dead except Wolverine, which is accurate. Like, you know, he would have been able to survive out of everybody, and I really was kind of surprised that he wasn't the one that went back. And then I looked into it, and yeah, in the comics, he's not the one who goes back in time.
That surprised me too.
Yeah.
Well, so, not everybody knows who Bishop is. Bishop's just like a random guy that I never knew about before. I think I've heard the name, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It was eye-opening for somebody who knows these things very casually, and almost kind of like an entry into the more, I guess you could say, hardcore. I'm not gonna call it hardcore. That sounds I don't know, a bit rough, but just more in-depth side of X-Men comics, and it was nice. Yeah. I liked how they actually said that Juggernaut isn't a mutant. Like, I knew that.
Yes.
I knew that. Like, his powers were magical. He has powers like the god of like destruction or some sort of god of destruction, and that's why he has to destroy stuff.
Yeah.
You know? But I thought that was interesting. How did you feel about what's his face? Metal dude.
Magneto?
No, other metal dude.
Oh, Colossus.
Yes, that's the one. Colossus. What did you think about Colossus?
I loved him. Very accurate. Like,
I loved him too.
Mean, in the Deadpool movies,
I like how they're all straight up trying to kill him. He's just like, oh, what are you doing? Like, it's like he's playing with. Yeah. He's like playing with children.
Yeah.
Like, if this man wanted to, he could body every single one of them. He's just like, no, stop it. Like, he just is like,
stop it.
He could whoop every single one of them if he really wanted to.
Yeah. But I like how Wolverine's just able to be like, no, that ain't him.
Well, yeah.
That's not the guy. That's not that guy, pal.
What did you think about the healing factor on Wolverine?
If I can remember right, it wasn't as fast.
He got injured. He got legitimately injured for like a week. Just by a claw from a Sabretooth.
And I'm wondering if it wasn't as fast in the comics.
It wasn't.
Or like, okay.
I looked it up, and they were just saying, like, basically he doesn't have super healing. He's just superhuman healing, if that makes sense. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So just like enhanced healing, not like less of a superpower, more just an enhancement, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of vibe with that. I really think, but back to Colossus real quick. I think the Deadpool movies handle him perfectly because he's the same character in the Deadpool movies. Like, is he German or
Russian?
Russian. God. And they handle him perfectly in those movies. But seeing this here, it's like, dang, okay, the movies did really get him right. You know, I know he's in like X-Men 3 and he's just like an American guy and he can like change back into human form and stuff. I don't like that version of Colossus. I like this version of Colossus.
So did you know that I can't remember the name now, but did you know Magneto's name wasn't Eric?
No. What? Like that?
I looked it up. Eric was like a name he chose. Not like his original name or something like that.
Okay.
But like,
yeah, when he's
obviously the movies are probably different. I forget it too. Was it Victor?
It might have been Victor or something like that. Yeah.
And was because Magneto was his like actual name, wasn't it?
No.
I thought it was.
Maybe. I don't think so.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that kind of, I was like, huh? And I looked it up, I was like, okay. that makes more sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
again, it's very interesting to like actually learn. And anybody watching this probably already knows all this stuff because who else is watching a review about a 90s X-Men show?
Cartoon, yeah.
Yeah, I doubt anybody new to comic books is watching this. They're probably looking at us like we're a couple of idiots, but I'm excited.
Yeah,
and I hope
am
that you
too.
can understand and feel my excitement for this. Talking to you, the audience, not you, Jared. And like, I'm excited to learn about this. It was enticing.
Yeah.
And a bit of a weird format. I'm excited to see how the later seasons go, format wise. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to get more into this because I really liked season 1. Like, I liked it way more than I expected. And I think you did too, because it didn't sound like you were too enthused to start this. You were just kind of like, oh, I'm not too big into X-Men or something like that. And now, like, hearing your reaction, I'm very happy to hear that, like, you're into it too, you know?
We do these things that I'm surprised how much I know. Not that I know a lot, but I'm surprised how much I do know. And I'm like, I know. And I'm like putting pieces together. I'm like, how? Like, it's like exhilarating. It's so strange coming back after so many years and watching this show that was probably out before I was born. Like, just wild.
Yeah. So, we're already at over 15 minutes, but I'm curious to know, do you have a favorite episode? Do you remember an episode that stood out to you, or an arc that stood out to you? Because one thing that kind of surprised me of how linear the show was, like, every episode was like previously on X-Men and stuff. It wasn't just like episode of the week, you know, like here's a new thing that's happening and stuff. Like, this stuff,
again, that went towards the fact that it's not just like a kid's show, even though it feels like one.
Yeah, it was like you had to watch it in order, and I like that, you know.
This is gonna be a weird one, but I like the episode with Wolverine in what was it,
in Alaska?
Yes,
or Canada? Yes,
Canada.
That was my favorite episode. That was my favorite episode.
It was so weird and random, and he just shows up back at the headquarters at like the mansion or whatever. It's like, "Sup, guys?" They're like, "Where have you been?" Like, just a little side adventure for Wolverine.
You don't understand, Ben. That was literally like, that was the one I picked out. I think it was called Cold Pursuit. And he had to go, like, just be in this random Canadian village and stuff. And then the one guy got ticked at him for, like, bringing home more fish and stuff. But he was like,
stupid.
Yeah, Sabretooth, I'm gonna pal up with you. I'll get my whole village kicked out and
that was
down
so stupid too. Like, the logic on that guy. No,
I
did too. Like,
it
was so stupid. Like, it was fun.
And Wolverine just like trying to find peace and stuff in this village, and like thinking, oh man, like, you know, like maybe I can live here and stuff. And then like just his life, his past following him everywhere he went. You know, it always caught up with him. And that, I really like that. And then not to mention also the B plot of Storm, Jubilee, and Gambit going to Genosha. And because that was the B plot of that episode. And like, I love that it was this.
That's another reason I like that episode, because you saw so many characters that you recognized that were in prison. Like, that's where you saw Domino. That's like you saw a bunch of people there.
Yeah. But I really like that, because I also like the Genosha storyline of like this place being like, oh, a place for all mutants to go and stuff like that, and it's actually a freaking prison. Like,
was it Genosha?
Yeah, Genosha.
Okay. I'm thinking of the Star Wars planet.
That's Geonosia. This is Genosha.
You said the same thing.
No, Geonosia and Genosha.
You basically said the same thing.
I can't help it. Writers can't pick better names.
All right.
But I gotta admit, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with Mr. Sinister, because that's how they ended the season. Did you recognize him at all, or did you not know that was who
I don't even know who Mr. Sinister is. Like,
did you play the Deadpool video game?
No.
Oh, okay. So he was the main villain in that, and he's kind of like made fun of a bunch in that game. But I'm very curious to know his actual comic book story, because I know nothing about it. So Mr. Sinister apparently is going to be in the next season. At least that's what they teased. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm curious to see what other Marvel characters are going to bring in, because there's obviously other characters. We saw freaking, Ghost Rider. He's
I know.
nothing that, like, he's not a mutant at all.
Yeah. And like I said, Punisher, that was definitely Punisher. So I'm curious to see if we get some other characters.
I wouldn't mind seeing some cameos or something, just like Spider-Man, just like, what's up, guys?
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right. Well, should we rate it? Or
I don't think you would rate this kind of thing, not till the end, but even though it's not going to end. No, I think this should just be.
It's going to keep going, like
I don't think
this
is a rate. I don't think you'd rate this kind of thing. I think you just kind of talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's my thoughts. I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to starting the next season.
And you might agree with us, you might not, but that's just what it is, and you're just gonna have to go with it.